cheers in your Tottenham mug to episode 175. 175, I think. Maybe. Was that last time? God, 175 and a half? 176?
So I'll look it up. Don't you number them?
Yeah, but sometimes I get confused when I go in and I'm like, "Ooh, did I already change that number? Did I not?"
What do you number them when you post them?
Yeah, they are numbered in the Podbean system where we upload them. I could always resort to that. I'm drinking this juice from Costco. I think it's supposed to be healthy. It's called Ginger Love, which is kind of a funny segue into our weekend. Ginger Love. Anyways.
There was some ginger love going on.
But it's got water, lemon, ginger, and pineapple paired with stevia and cayenne. And it packs a punch.
Stevia?
What was the last ingredient?
Cayenne, like the pepper.
Interesting. What is that doing for you?
I think it's good for your immune system.
Interesting. I have day-old coffee.
I have water.
Blonde roast or dark roast?
I don't drink blonde roast, but this is medium.
Whoa, what do you mean? What's wrong with blonde roast?
It's too light for me. Doesn't really.
It's my
get
go-to
it done.
roast. What does that say about me? What do you think that means?
You're just soft. Do you put creamer and stuff in your coffee, Grant?
No, not lately. I've gone back and forth throughout my life, but lately I'm just straight black, hot.
That's how I've drank it since its inception.
Sometimes I add a little bit of hot water because I do like the taste of Americanos and it gives more volume to the cup. It makes the drink last longer, so I'll do that sometimes.
Okay. What do you have, Evan?
Water. Nature's nectar.
Best thing to put in your body.
Loose opens, right? We're going to talk about our wedding weekend that we had. We had a week off. Let's address the elephant in the room. We had a week off. God forbid we take a midsummer break. But
God forbid.
Football is back. I don't know if anyone's going to push back on that, but I feel it in my bones. I've been diving into fantasy football research because I'm not going to be at the draft. I'm making a cheat sheet for you, Colby, listener Colby, for you. It's going to be hot in your email inbox, an Excel sheet, trying to steal Alex's job, getting sweaty in Excel with all my metrics and my prices from last year. So I went through last year's prices. There were some eye-opening things. Evan, I don't know if it was, did you have Austin Eckler last year? Or no?
Yes.
I think the year before that.
I think you had
last year.
He
did. I know.
I'll double check. I have the screenshots.
How do you know that?
I just remember dumb stuff, and I know that you had him.
Anyways, he went for $90, and I think this year he's probably going to go for it's probably the biggest fall off of a player that we may have had. Same with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard went for $75 to Wilkins, and I think he's going to go for not a whole lot this year.
I mean, he was RB1 for the first 10 weeks of the year.
Evan did have Eckler. He had Eckler and Kenneth Walker. Good pull, Alex. He's right again, damn it.
Thanks.
Who finished last? Who's buying it all?
McCrate, because he gave me CeeDee Lamb.
I forgot I have no money.
I have no money. Colby has no money. I told him no pressure. We just need value this year.
Don't worry, Evan. I have it written down somewhere, everyone's money. So
Yeah, I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
And I'll make this sheet still. And I'm coming home. Flight booked.
Coming home. All right. So
I need someone to pick me
season's
up from the airport.
I'll pick you up, Alex. I'm not doing anything.
I'll
Actually,
pull
I
you
can't
into-
pick you up.
I'll pull
I don't
you
know
into
what day
town.
you're picking. What
Friday
day?
night. You're going to be busy.
I'm going to be busy Friday night. Sorry.
football game.
Michigan
my
State
dad will
football
pick me
game.
up.
Yes. I got to find
Dad,
somebody
if
to
you're
go with.
listening, pick me up.
Who, if you're listening?
My dad.
Oh, is he going? Oh, to pick you up. I'm sorry.
The
I'm
airport.
lost.
I'm inviting Garrett to the Michigan State game. He's unavailable.
Yes. So we're going to talk a lot about football. We're also going to talk about the second to last episode this season of Dragons. We'll see where we're at before the finale. I don't know the percentage of the people that listen to our show that actually care about that part, but I feel like when there's a massive television show on that people talk about every week, it's at least fun to talk about. And then Tigers trade deadline, kind of a snooze fest, so that's not going to take that long, to be honest with you guys. And that's when we get into football. We got training camp open across the NFL. We can talk about the Lions. Evan's favorite player on the entire team locked up a 3-year extension, which is going to be huge for him. We got some buzz about some different players. Oh, you're already looking for the out. He's already looking for the out. Power ranking list, your top 10 players on the Lions going into 2024-2025 season. I did some digging on our Instagram account. I looked up. Remember when we did like the top 25 players on the Lions going into
the top 25?
Jared Goff's first year, I think. I have screenshots.
Was it the second? 25?
Yeah, I remember. There are some bad players on those lists.
No, it's got to be his first year because remember we did our first episode was when he got traded, so it probably was that off season. We did like who were the best players on the Lions.
I think it was the next year.
When you hear some of the names, I think, well, we'll go down memory lane, but I have screenshots of what the list was, and it's going to be fun to compare it to now because, boys, there are a lot more talent.
Jack Fox was like top 5.
Jack Fox did very well in our rankings.
Jack Fox should still be top 5.
And then we have 1 month, boys. 1 month until FAU versus MSU.
Cool.
Jeez, Alex.
It's hard for me to get excited until it's here, you know.
Evan, what are you trying to find in your notebook?
I'm trying to find the top
His
25.
List.
It's all in the same notebook.
Shot at Michigan Sports. Yeah, it's in the same notebook. I got 3/8/21. February 21st, 2021. I have the first episode on here.
Oh my God.
First page, first episode, January 18th, 2021.
We're ranking our top 10, correct?
Yep.
Top 10 players on the Lions going into this season.
I'm sorry if this is super loud when you have to
Starting
edit this
my
rant,
list
but
now.
I'm just hoping.
That's what caught my attention because you just hear the paper ruffling in your headset.
I hope I can find.
I had to give the listeners the context that are just listening. Like, what the hell is that sound? Like, that is Evan's 1,000-page notebook of this show's history. Like George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones book.
Recently,
this is the Song of Ice and Fire.
Just been kind of raw dog in it, but
oh. And then we're gonna, with the audience's help, it's really us. We're gonna spitball, brainstorming some power rankings, but we're gonna ask the audience if they listen to that part, if there's any they want us to do. Because really, I was looking at the calendar. There's only like 4 shows left until football actually starts. So we don't have that much time to fill, but there's definitely some fun lists like the power rankings today that we can do before the season starts. So we'll talk about that to end the show. Without further ado, let's get into Alex. We all were together last weekend, so I'm sure that will be a big part of it. But you had a special trip for a week, at least back in Michigan. So you can go through that. Maybe we'll wait for the wedding as its own segment. However you want to do it.
Okay. I spent 13 hours in the airport on last Saturday.
Whoa. Starting off hot.
First flight canceled. Delayed 3 hours.
Found it.
I haven't found it.
Then canceled. Then rebooked through Delta. Got to that gate. Canceled. Purchased new flight on Spirit. Flew home.
Spirit the GOAT. Shout out Spirit.
Long day.
Alex, would you like to remind people that may have forgotten or that live under a rock why all those cancellations happened in the airport?
Because of the massive internet failure thing that occurred last week.
Crazy life moment, honestly. Going into work and seeing every single person's computer blue and being like, what's going on here?
Mine worked. My work stuff worked totally fine that day.
Yeah, so laptops worked fine. Anything that was like, what's not a laptop? I'm blanking.
Desktop.
Bad. Any desktop modem was messed up.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sunday I played golf with both of you.
Yes. Wow. That was last week.
Yeah. We all played golf together. Good time. Good fun.
Did not break 100
really
that I kept.
Good high school reminiscing afterwards. It was fun. Good time.
Shout out to Colby for enabling us and being a great audience for us to relive those memories. I was telling Marissa, I was like, we stayed there so long because Colby just kept being like, what? You guys did that? And it's like, made us feel good about ourselves.
I mean, in our defense, those stories are crazy. Monday, my family came over. My
Nice.
aunt, uncle, grandma, and grandfather. So that was good. Caught up with that.
That had to make you feel special.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Tuesday, went to Toledo to get my suit. Grandparents' new homeland. Suit didn't fit over. Had to go back. Wednesday, I played golf with a friend of the podcast. Friends of the podcast. Colby and Cormac. Did a little 1v2 best ball. They ended up winning. Cormac played well.
Not your clubs either.
Correct. Then three of us went to Taco Bell afterwards. I had to buy them Taco Bell. That was my punishment.
Orders?
That probably was like a $50 bill.
Cormac ate Taco Bell?
Oh, yeah.
That probably was a $50 bill.
I don't know
in
if
today's
I've
economy.
46.
Okay, I know my bill. Thanks, Joe.
Thursday, went back to Toledo.
Suit.
Spent 2 hours practicing my speech for Cody's wedding.
No shit.
I mean, technically 2 hours, hour on the way there. Hour. I just read it. I just memorizing it in the car as I was driving. It really made the time go. And then Thursday evening, I went to the movies with Evan, Wilkins, McCrate, Botcher, and Eldred. You might have to cut all those names, or you can keep them.
They're just one half the name. Usually we're cool with that.
So went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Funny movie. I laughed quite a lot. Plot wise,
raunchy.
Not really. I didn't really have a plot, but it was a raunchy, funny movie. So it was fun. Saw The Bride that day as well. Shout out Paige. I saw Cody's house. Cody, if you're listening, nice home. You got a nice home. I like it. He says it needs a lot of work, but I don't really get it. I mean, I feel like it's pretty solid. And then Friday, played golf again. It's the third round of the week. Played with everyone besides Grant. Bummer for you, Grant. Good time.
Keep the economy going.
2-man scramble teams. I played with Eldred. We fired an even par 71.
Hell yeah.
All things considered, not bad. And then Saturday, we already know what happened. We'll discuss that in a moment. Sunday, brutal hangover. Flight got delayed again. Did not get back to Houston until after 1 a.m. Very tough. And then yesterday, I saw the movie Twisters.
You saw that?
Yeah.
How was it?
I personally thought it was stupid.
Who'd you go with?
I went with a couple friends that wanted to go. I booked this like a week ago, so I was like, I really don't want to go, but too late.
Had you ever seen the original?
No.
Me either, but I wanted to see it.
It's just like, spoiler warning.
Don't tell me.
It's just, I'm not going to spoil the plot, but some people, I gave you a warning.
There's just a lot of tornadoes.
There's tornadoes every 8 seconds. Like, that is just not realistic
It's called
at all.
Twisters.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime storm, Alex. You don't get it.
But they made it seem like that's like real life. Like, that's what happens. And I'm like, come on. Also, can you really drive a truck into the middle of a tornado?
Yeah.
I think so. If it's a Chevy.
Chevys are reliable.
Chevy Silverado can get in there. Your
was
dad's
okay.
truck can get in there.
It was
Or your truck
entertaining.
now. Sorry.
I would never watch it again. And if someone asked me, should I go see this in theaters? I would tell you no.
Damn. All right, laying it down. How's the soundtrack, though? I heard the soundtrack kind of slaps. Luke
Wasn't that
Holmes.
memorable.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma. All right.
It's just like one of those cheesy, like, Southern movies that wasn't that great. And
Do we think
3 girls behind me, every time Glenn Powell on the screen, so they were just like making audible noises the whole time. And then one of them took a picture of the screen and had their flash on. And I was like, all right, ladies.
Embarrassing.
So
where are we at on Glenn Powell?
I feel like he needs a movie of like substance to really get somewhere acting wise. But I mean, he's obviously like America's like heartthrob for women. So he's doing okay.
Yeah, because he had The Rise. His movie was Top Gun. That people are like,
Right.
ooh, interesting. And that was a supporting role. Like he was not the star of that movie by any means.
He's like a raging asshole in that movie.
And then the only other one I've seen of him was the Anyone But You, which was the worst rom-com of all time, and like 2 of the worst acting performances I've ever seen in my life.
Not really his fault. That was a bad script.
And so I was curious about this.
Yeah, it's another movie where you're like, or I mean, like this is not like showcasing any ability whatsoever. It's like
just
run around in
CGI
a tight
tornadoes.
T-shirt, be just
Winking
like a
at people.
tight T-shirt action guy, you know?
Yeah.
But that's who Matthew McConaughey was in the beginning of his career.
True.
And then he got into
How those guys in 10
crazy
days.
roles, and then found out he's pretty good at acting.
Glenn Powell will be in True Detective.
He needs a new film, something a little more serious.
All right. Evan, any notable things outside of the group topic?
Not really. Just like Alex said, played a little bit of golf here and there. Played well last night. Drew and I actually finally played well together last night. We got our asses freaking kicked.
Oh, no.
Because the people that we played against just played better than us, just with higher handicaps.
That has to be demoralizing.
It was. Drew and I both parred the first hole, and we lost 2.5 to a half. Yeah. But let's see. Other than that, this week, I mean, baseball is officially. I finished my last thing I had to do with baseball. It's officially over with for the summer.
Wow.
I just had to make phone calls. My favorite part.
Sarcasm.
And then I think other than that, just a wedding. Great weekend. Can't wait to talk about it. Relive it. Woke up Sunday morning just pissed off that it was only one day. It's only a one-day thing. Sunday you're dreading it, and then you're just looking at it. I was like, I have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that was It was an all-time bad work day.
Yeah.
No, that was a tough work day, no doubt. For me, I don't feel like I had anything that crazy outside of the wedding, so we can hop into that. Great time. I mean, we don't have to go into crazy details about every bit, but dance floor, we revived it. It started out slow. I think everyone was kind of mingling outside. The thing, like the venue itself had a lot of sweet outdoor spaces. So I think that was like, I want to hang out and see those. And then got the dance floor going. The drinks got flowing. The lights got dimmed. And I mean, we won't go into too details, but the state that human beings were in after the wedding tells you that it was a pretty good time overall. I think everyone got lost in the moment and decided to make the most of it.
I had two jobs after the ceremony. I had 2 jobs. It was to shake my ass and drink beer, and I did both of those at a high level.
At a high level.
You sure did. Someone say you should have only drank beer and not mixed every possible beverage.
I stand by it. I was not hungover on Sunday when I woke up.
Well, lucky you.
I don't know.
And I'm the person that gets hungover easily.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
If someone would have told me I would be more hungover than Evan on Sunday, I would have thought you were insane.
I was just giggling. I was giggling Saturday night, laying in bed.
Okay, the only other on the record thing I have to say about the wedding, other than like, congrats to the lovely couple. I hope they're having a great time on their trip.
So great. Saturday was so good.
Such a fun time.
Great moment.
The only downside that I realized from being that intoxicated at a wedding is when you have to pick up the groom suite. That felt unfair to us. I was in no state to sort things out in that room and figure out what needed to go into my bag, but I guess we cleared it out.
Upset.
I was lost.
I was
lost.
I don't remember doing it.
I barely helped. You know why? Because
I grabbed my bag and left.
I walked my date out to her car and then walked back in, and it was like 95% cleaned. obviously because I was missing half
same.
of my stuff. I grabbed what I thought was mine, and I just walked out.
But I think my lesson that I'm taking is that I need to do a better job of making sure all my stuff's in like one tidy corner before things get going. Because we were in that room a lot. I could have done a better job of making sure all my belongings were like in an easy to pick up place, as opposed to like scattered, like some stuff on the bar, some stuff on the couch, some stuff in the corner. That is a note for Grant. Next time, make sure everything is in one little location so I can just grab it when I'm drunk at the end of the night and walk out.
Everything of mine was in a tidy corner. And I think I lost your tie clip.
Yeah, I don't. It's okay. I don't think I have my black.
I remember taking it off somewhere, and then Sunday afternoon, I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't have that."
No chance tie clips are surviving that.
No. My favorite moment was right before we walked out to the actual wedding. Evan is like amped up, like he's playing his first high school football game. He was just so excited.
I couldn't believe how fast my heart was racing, and I had no idea.
Like, Evan is jacked up, like he's about to go.
I was ready.
Play linebacker for the Lions.
If there was a banner that he could run out and touch, he would have just absolutely smacked that thing down.
That charged up. It was awesome.
The only thing about the walk down that I think I know my group did, I think we stopped too early. I feel like we stopped and like separated our arms, and there was still a long gap to walk and hug Cody. I don't know if you guys did the same thing, but I feel like I stopped way too early.
No. I think the only thing I did poorly was that I made a joke like halfway down the aisle to Morgan about something. I don't remember what it was. And then she started laughing, and then people were probably like, "Oh, these kids aren't taking it very seriously."
I think that's good as long as, you know, it's like they don't know what you said, where you're just like, "Oh, they're just smiling."
But I feel like we walked like all the way down. Like we basically got there. I just waited till she let go because I didn't know when to do it. And I think the worst part about walking down in a wedding is like the speed of how to walk. Like you just feel like you're crawling forward. But if you sprint, then everyone's like, what is these people doing? So it's just such an awkward like pace, you know?
Yeah. I think I've heard someone say when you're nervous and walking or whatever, you always feels like it feels like you're walking slower than you actually are. Like in real time, you're actually walking pretty fast.
Right.
It just feels like it's an eternity in your head.
Like,
yeah,
like
because everyone turns their heads and like, oh.
But you guys, were you third to last, Grant?
Yeah.
All right. So
some people get sore and they just look back to the front, like, you know, I don't need to watch every person come down the aisle. I'm just gonna stay here.
I felt like by the time I was going, like only a few people like turned around. They're like, "Yeah, I've been watching the last 6 go. I don't need to watch this guy."
All right, moving on. We did it. Okay.
So McCrate told me pre-wedding, give the rings to him. During the wedding, when McCrate asked for the rings, I go to give them to him, and then Wilkins turned to grab the rings from me. And I was like, oh no. So I just completely brushed off Wilkins and just went straight to Cody. And then Wilkins got all confused and then just turned around. And I was like, so I was curious, what do you guys think? Who am I?
Too many Codys.
Who normally would you hand the rings to? Would it?
Oh,
I think you give to the officiant. I think that's how I've seen it done before.
Asking the last person you should ask.
I'm just asking for future reference if I have to do
this.
Did
you had both though?
Yeah, I had both. Because I'm not going to give Cody's to him, and then he's not going to put it on himself. You know.
I feel like I've seen some weddings where
you give the maid
of honor has the guys and gives it to the girl, and you would have the girls and give it to the guy. I've seen that before. I think.
So I figured since I had both, it goes to the officiant, and then he'll do all the.
I think so. If you give both
stuff.
But hey, things are moving fast. There's a lot of directions. Everyone's nervous, like it's a football game. You make mistakes on kickoff.
No, I didn't feel nervous during the wedding portion at all.
Oh, you looked it. I'm just kidding.
No. I was nervous before my speech, yes.
Oh, couldn't tell at all.
You swallowed his in.
I swallowed. Well,
forget.
This is your fault. 100% your fault. Grant handed everybody fresh beers, unopened.
He didn't hand me one.
I didn't open mine until we were on the dance floor. After our introductions.
Listen, we all make mistakes.
We do.
And I I moved back. I mean, I could have just thrown up on the floor in front of everyone right there.
That would've
I
been-
could have just.
Yeah, but you milked that. You milked that storyline for a long time. It's like Damon at Harrenhal.
Well, it's
milked
because
that storyline.
I was like, this is like the only thing that could cause a disaster for my speech is because I had taken for just so everyone's reference, when I did a Zen with Cody, like whenever he was here, like a few months ago, I yacked everywhere. So I was like, this is going to be a problem.
A few months ago?
I
You
know
mean
that my
7 months ago?
January. So yeah, I guess 7 months ago. So I know that when I have Zins, my body just does not react well at all. So I was nervous that was going to happen. And then I was going to ruin Cody's wedding, just not even make a speech, not be up there, and it'd be a disaster. So that was just, I was stressed out, Thankfully, Grant gave me a Red Bull.
Oh, I did get that. Quick one for listener Ben. He had asked the other day about reclining on a plane. Are you an asshole if you recline your seat on a plane? And I think most people would say yes. Anyone disagree?
Yes. I would just like to add, Sunday I had a terrible flight back. The dude next to me is like, first of all, his knee is like in the middle of the seat in front of me. So he's man spreading over my seat. Doesn't care that he's hitting my leg, just like completely spreading out. And then he put his tray table down and was laying on it pre-takeoff.
Oh,
And you're supposed to have him up. So then this lady comes by, like, please put it up, and just doesn't move. So I'm like, this guy, unbelievable.
he's going to be a problem the whole flight.
And then he would just like stare at me. He would just like look at me. He's like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And then he's snoring. He's like leaning up. His head's like this, like on my shoulder. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Like, get it together.
The only point on the record that I have about Ben's question is I do see the people that say if it's such a bad move, why do they offer it to you? Like, why do they even allow you to recline if it's going to be that much of an inconvenience to other people? So I do get that. It's like, don't give humans the option to do that because they will probably take advantage of it.
Agreed.
The only time it's really a dickhead move is if you do it to the person who's in the last seat on the plane, because you can't recline if you're on the last seat in the plane. There's nowhere to go. I don't know about you, Alex, but if someone reclines in front of me, I do start the recline train. They do it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going back. I just go straight back.
The guy did it to me on Sunday, and I don't use the screen or anything either, so like it doesn't totally bother me. It's just kind of annoying that their head's like in my lap.
That's what I'm saying. So I have to get distance from that because I get like claustrophobic because they're just in my lap.
Kid behind me was just kicking the back of my chair too, and I don't think he realized that when you kick the metal bar, it just vibrates the whole chair. But he was like 8 years old, so I wasn't going to turn around and snap at him. I looked at his dad a few times, like, buddy, come on.
Get Billy under control over there.
It was a miserable flight. I don't like being on airplanes at all. If I ever got rich, I'd fly private.
That'd just be your first goal.
Yes.
Don't need a chef private. Or anything. Don't need a nice golf membership. I'm just going to fly private.
Gonna fly private.
All right, let's get quickly. I don't know if it's going to be the longest recap for Dragons because they're still, I don't know about you guys, I still feel like they're teasing us. They're not really giving us.
Still blue and balling us.
Season 3 is going to be crazy.
Better. Or if it even happens. Who knows with this. But
still
yeah,
the
usually,
number one show on HBO right now by a long shot.
Yeah, Twitter is so good when the show ends. Like, it's just trending and there's like thousands and thousands of memes. It really does capture the nation's attention. But we just didn't get that as our lifelong Dragons and Game of Thrones fans like me know, that penultimate, that word. Not the last one, the second to last. They really give you something spicy, but they didn't. And they really haven't. Because I was thinking back to season 1. They didn't really give us anything spicy. And what they did was in the last episode of the first season, the like last shot of the whole thing was the dragon eating the boy Luke. Spoilers. So I wonder if they're just going to run back that card and just leave us with a crazy, crazy cliffhanger. And then they address all the fallout in season 3, which is fine if that's how they want to do it. But it is different than Game of Thrones.
Not really.
Normally, yes.
There's still was. Like, every Game of Thrones season has, like, some filler episodes other than probably the last season, because I mean you're wrapping everything up. But there's like a good amount, like half are filler episodes. You have one like great, awesome battle scene episode, and then the last episode is usually like a big cliffhanger. I feel like we're still on track for all of that. We had our big battle episode.
Yeah.
The king fell off a dragon, got burned, and nearly died. I mean, that was a pretty good episode.
It doesn't feel as monumental now, though. It feels like we need more. I'm being selfish, but I feel like I need some more.
You know, someone said that when they listen to Grant talk about House of Dragon, it just pisses them off. And I feel like you're going to piss them off again today.
Was this only 6th episode?
Seventh.
I think they could have gone 9 or 10. The only thing I think I'm upset about, obviously we're going to get it in season 3, is spoilers. 2 dudes just come in there, get 2 dragons, and then the next episode we're just gonna fight. We're just gonna get on top of it and fight. There's no like backstory. There's no like getting along with the dragon. There's no like any side quests or side missions that they do with the dragon. It's just nope, get on it and let's go. And like the one dude, obviously I think the one dude just did it on his own whim of just like getting on it and then flying over King's Landing, but he also might have gotten on it. And
that dude's so dead next week. Dude, he is going to get murdered. So. That guy's a squid. I could not believe he got a dragon. What's his name? Dolph?
Ulf.
That guy's a
ULF.
I thought for sure he was going there to die. Like, I know they had been teasing him all season, but I was like, oh, this is just going to be the clown thing where he goes, he's not a Targaryen at all, and he gets dead.
Yes. I thought that's where I kind of wanted.
Dragon? I'm like, this guy, no way.
Oh, I was thinking he was going to die when he rode it over King's Landing and they shot a scorpion into the dragon and killed them both, or like picked him off. That would have been awesome. I thought they were just going to kill him right there.
With the scorpion, but they never shot it. They didn't even show like anybody like shooting it. They said everyone just get ready.
That would have been good shit. Imagine you see a scorpion just go through Ulf's head and he falls off. I would just like to just
Silverwing shoot one.
Do you guys think we're getting the full Dance of the Dragons next episode? Where, I mean, because in the trailer, I mean, they talk about Helena's gonna go to battle on her dragon. So I mean, if she's going,
let's set the stage. Yeah, does so Green they have 3 dragons. Well, Aegon can't fly his.
Yeah, and I don't think that dragon can fly right now. Anyway,
no, that's got to be on the IR for sure.
So some fire on IR.
Some fire on IR.
Whatever is his name.
Do they just have 2 dragons? Or might
just have?
Well, they did say in the last episode.
Oh yeah, you know who's coming in? Did you guys watch the trailer? Because I don't want to spoil shit, but I did see like screenshots of the trailer of people saying some things, not what's going to happen, but some people we're going to see in the last episode. Which one of them, Evan, you will be very happy about that we will see.
You can tell
us.
It's not the Starks. There was a shot of the Stark flag in the trailer for episode 8. So
I didn't notice that.
We might get the Starks.
Evan said they would never be back again.
There's a shot, if you watch it again and again, like this, they're telling us these people are coming, that Alicent's other son that lives in Hightower, his dragon is bright blue, like the color of my hat, and that was a shot of his dragon flying over an army for 8. So that's another green team dragon.
I thought they said in the last episode, like some maester was talking to someone in the green saying they had 2 new like dragons ready to go or something. Am I imagining that?
Well, they said so.
They had 2 riders or like
when there's, I don't know about 2, but when they said when they're sitting at the council and they hear the calls for Silverwing and the dragon, they're talking that Darren, which is Alicent's son, they said his dragon just took wing or just took flight.
Yes,
so they're teasing that like he's coming with his dragon because he's like 16 or something now. He's like a teenager and he has his dragon. So I think Green has 3 healthy dragons,
plus which is one of them's the biggest by far.
With a skinny ass tongue. That tongue was crazy when it was flying across the
also
water
like
there.
Fat looking when he's flying.
And it's an outdoor dragon. It just chills in the woods.
Yeah, just
like an outdoor cat. Outdoor dog.
He's out for a ride and you're just going to come across him and be like, hey, what's
also
up?
Watching that loser Aemon ride his horse, he looked like such a loser on that horse.
I just hate him.
Oh my God, I don't like him. I can't wait for him to die.
Okay. Speaking of that, let's make our predictions. Do we think
Who dies?
who dies? Like, do we get a big character death? Like, is someone we love, not love, but someone that we've like
I don't
seen
love
every episode
anybody
dying?
in this.
Alan
Well,
Hall.
wait.
I
We
love Alan
need to
Hall.
continue setting the scene. How many dragons does Black have? They have
5 or
Rhaenyra's.
6. They have Rhaenyra's.
They have Alan Halls, or not Alan Halls, the other Halls. They have those two new ones.
I think they have 7. I think they have 7 dragons in total.
They have Bela's.
Like that are
Bela has a
ready
dragon.
Yep.
Technically, they have Daemon.
She has Moon Dancer, I believe.
The sun.
And they have Daemon.
What's
I'm
his
counting
name?
Daemon's. Jace. He's got his dragon.
That's 6, and then Damon's is 7.
They have 7 active dragons.
They got 7 dragons
Active dragons.
to 3.
To 3.
Wow.
But Team
that's
Green has the biggest.
But dude, 7.
Oh, true. I'm with you.
Who's gonna die though? Like who out there?
I think Kristen Cole's gonna die.
I think half of the
I do too.
half the world would
I
probably
love that
appreciate
take.
it. Well, he's on the ground.
I think Kristen
you
Cole-
have it coming.
Yeah, I think he gets just because he's already like skeptical that all the people on the ground are just casualties anyways. He's probably just gonna get lit up by a dragon.
Do we get an Otto Hightower appearance in the
I
finale?
hope somebody
Is
just
he back?
shoots him. I would actually cheer if he got killed.
Otto Hightower ends up on the throne after this episode. Wow, that's crazy.
That would be bullshit.
I do have a really bad feeling about my favorite guy, Alan Hall. Since he's going to be leading the army and his brother just got new fame, they might do like a
he's
sad
gonna-
death where Alan gets burnt in the ships. I'm kind of nervous about that. I don't know if he plays a big. I don't know anything about the books. I just feel like.
Do we
Alan
think any
Hall-
of the blood of Black and Green are dead? Someone has. Someone
I don't-
surely is going to die.
Aemon will not die. He's too big right now.
Well, then if he died, it would cause all chaos. Like who? I don't know who would be.
Anyone on the council? Green, so like Helena, she's expendable, but she kind of predicts the future.
She's not.
I think she
expendable.
survives.
She's like the witch.
So what,
She might be an.
What?
She might
Allison,
be a secret MVP.
Her character
She
sucks right now. Damon's
Right now.
character sucks right now.
Sucks.
Castle gets
Daemon got
caught on fire.
disbodied.
That Aemon's overlooking in the trailer.
I don't know what that was.
You
It
think
didn't
they
look
kill
that important.
Aegon? Just burn him.
No, he's
No.
not going to get up. He can't walk.
Well, he can. He walked around a little. I was stunned.
Whoa, that's.
I mean, I think we said this a while ago, but Corlys. I mean, at this point, he could easily die.
He's
Alan Hole.
expendable.
Actually,
Gross.
maybe he dies and Alan
AI.
Hole takes over that house, Valerian.
Could see that. So,
Then
but we
the
don't
holes
think
are
any
big in
family
season
members
3.
are dying.
But Aemon's found a new dragon. What's this big old green one that shoots dragon fire?
Well, they all shoot dragon fire.
No, like actual dragon fire from like Game of Thrones.
I don't know.
Dragon bolt.
I don't know what that
This was
is.
in the
That was
trailer,
sick,
though?
though.
Unless this was,
No.
I don't.
unless this was added in by the
No.
guy that made this YouTube video.
Yeah, that's-
Probably.
I don't know if that's
Probably a
real.
cool thumbnail to get your attention. I don't. That was not in the trailer. That
So
would've
we,
caught
we
my
think
eye.
no one dies. We think no one of the bloodline
I think
dies.
nobody important
Until
dies.
season 3.
I think somebody that
Does who?
nobody really
But they
cares.
ultimately all are going to die before the shoot.
Um, One of Damon's daughters, either Bela, the older one, or the one that the little girl that's looking for that dragon in the veil, one of them could die.
no, because that one in the veil is getting a dragon, and then they're gonna have another
yeah,
dragon.
but a sneaky thing
That
is
means they're 8 dragons.
what Ulf.
They're getting another.
Ulf found more
Bela could die.
Ulf found more dragon eggs, and it was not talked about.
He did
One
step
of-
in the middle.
Two
one.
of those dragon eggs go all the way up to Daenerys.
No, but there was Rhaenyra already gave somebody 3 or 4 dragons eggs,
There's a cute baby dragon.
and then
Yeah, but
in the veil.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
just
couple of
left.
those baby
stepped
ones,
on
right?
a pile, and there was at least 2 dragons in that little pile thing. So there's more dragon eggs to be found that people don't know about.
Yeah, but I think it takes a while for dragons to get that big.
Correct, but there's
I don't think they
okay,
get
but
that big in a month.
there's- I get that, Alex, but the power to have dragon eggs, though,
Oh, I don't care about
in
that. Right now.
in more seasons,
We know
to
that
come.
eventually all the dragons die except what, 2?
What is Green gonna do? What is Team Green even gonna do?
On paper, they are like there's no way they win.
But you know what's gonna happen though? I mean, we should have seen this. Like Damon is going to
The
divide
infighting.
House Black.
Yeah. There's going to be 3 teams.
What if Damon joins Amond?
Oh, that'd be gross.
That would be. I would sign up for that just to see the drama. I'm not saying
I already made my prediction.
but
I said Rhaenyra would die before Damon. I still think that.
most likely right now because Damon's doing nothing but just getting bullied by a 12-year-old.
But he does have an army now. So are all 3 of these teams going to just show up and get after it? Like, what is going to happen?
Somehow Lord Larys is going to come out on top of this thing. He's going to figure out the chess pieces.
There's so many holes.
I think if the green wants to win, I think you have to take out the ground. You have to just only eliminate 2 dragons and then pray that you don't get burned alive. I think you have to take out the navy.
Dude, the black on paper is better in every aspect except
going back
one
to
dragon.
Going back to the Scorpion point, are we ever going to see because in Game of Thrones, Scorpion did brutally injure, if not take down a dragon.
Killed the dragon
in one of the episodes.
One of the last episodes.
Yeah. Are we going to see some Scorpions do some things? Because I feel like that Team Green needs those to be hitting. They need to be on point with their Scorpions.
Yeah, but the blacks don't need to fly to King's Landing. I guess technically they do eventually if they want to take
they're the ones they're trying to grab the throne.
They have to kill Aemon and Aegon. They have to.
And Alicent.
I think if there are 2 sons,
they don't have to kill Alicent.
She might kill herself.
Irrelevant.
Prisoner of war.
She tried to just kill herself in the lake, dude.
She was just having a spa day. All right. Well, that's Dragons. We'll see. We'll probably have a lot better reactions after this week's episode, or we'll be.
I think it'll deliver, but I think there'll be just such a big cliffhanger that you'll be like, oh, now I gotta wait.
I gotta get home in time on Sunday.
Note to Evan.
Gotta get home.
Another just year of waiting
by
for season 3's chaos.
I think it takes 2 years to film.
Well, they did season 2
we
a year after season 1.
We've had 4 years for this.
What? Dude, we watched his last, or I guess 2 years. Not even.
Yeah. 2022. It started. August 2022. We waited 2 years.
It was better than Sunday Night Football.
Yes, it was not. But because season 1 was just a bunch of abortions. People forget.
No, season 1 was pretty good.
It was fine. All right, moving to Tigers again. I don't know.
No.
Evan's a baseball guy. We didn't trade anyone that meaningful, and I don't know if we got anything back that meaningful, at least on paper. Maybe these guys will surprise us.
People are upset of the hauls. I mean, you never know about the prospect ranks, and obviously these front offices are going to have their top whatever ranks, and so somebody's 8th best prospect in their farm system is better than on paper, according to who we trust in our front office, is better than somebody's 3rd best prospect. That's just the way it works. And I think anytime you get a top 10 prospect from a team for a rental piece, I think it's worth the risk, worth the gamble. We got Dodgers.
It's a nothing.
The Dodgers
it's
farm
a nothing
system,
trade deadline.
The Dodgers farm system is one of the best in Major League Baseball, has been for the last 8 to 10 years. I mean, look at that team. The reason why the Dodgers are so successful, yeah, they spend a lot in free agency, but people leave them and then they're able to just regroup. It's the same way with the Astros. Look at the Astros farm system. People leave them, they still regroup with talent that they have. They draft well.
It's a nothing. It's a nothing trade deadline for the Tigers. They once again stink. They once again will not make the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah, that's why we traded everyone.
In hopes of a farm system to maybe one day be good as we go into year 8 of the rebuild next year.
The problem with the rebuilds is that you changed people's voices in charge.
I get it. It's not
to rebuild the rebuild.
Guy currently in charge's fault, but
correct. I'm with you.
Alex,
we're never going to get out of this. We'll never get out of this until the owner wants to spend on free agency for some hitting.
Which
because our farm system is
got Javi Baez, dude.
Our farm system now, we do have some pieces, but it's major league hitting. It's shaky. A lot of our farm system is pitching.
Yeah, that's why it's annoying.
The one thing I'll say, looking right now at the trade for the first time, well, I look at the positions, but the lower ranked prospect we got from the Dodgers, Trey Sweeney, he plays shortstop. and he's already in AAA. So maybe that helps solve the Javi Baez problem that we have because he's hitting 254. Not the worst ever in today's,
I think our shortstop.
not good.
I think our shortstop situation is the one that we drafted this past year. He's still 3 years out. I mean, you can have some. I don't remember
who's playing short for us. The McGonagall kid?
No, I don't know. You can still have
Kevin McGonagall.
Is that the kid that we drafted this year? I think that is the kid that's gonna.
Kid we drafted is probably in single A right now.
He's expected to be in the MLB in 2027.
Yeah, 3 years.
People won't even be on the team.
Well, how about that? Does that give you any hope that our organization's turning around? Like, because if they were signaling to us they want to keep rebuilding, they obviously would have traded him. Unless maybe they were asking for too much, but I feel like that at least shows a sign that like we're gonna hold on to him in theory, unless we don't pay him to hopefully
be a money
call up some young people.
The thing with Skubal is his value is still going to be just as high in the offseason. It can be just as high as the next trade deadline. It's going to be just as high as the following offseason. His trade deadline, his value is not going to go down. I mean, obviously, knock on wood, nothing dramatic happens to him, like injury-wise. But if he pitches, he is, if not the best pitcher in baseball. And
it's true.
He is the best left-handed pitcher in baseball right now. His value is not going to decrease at all.
At some point, you have to have some good players. So
correct, I'm with you.
Keeping them on the team at least keeps a couple of us invested.
Having the best pitcher
probably
in baseball,
all the owner cares about.
Having the best pitcher in baseball is good, no matter what team you are.
So maybe the Orioles flame out in this postseason and they get desperate in the offseason, and then we revisit some Jackson Holiday, Kobe Mayo talks. Like, I'm still intrigued by that package the more I thought about it, because as much as I love Skubal, it'd be kind of nice to have a great lineup and then hope that Feder, what you pay him for, because Feder has been really good about getting a lot out of nothing. I don't know. Maybe that's what happens.
I think that's a bad take. But I can see it. Punting to the future, gives you more long-term hope, sure.
True. It's a classic. That's why you always draft a quarterback. You always draft a quarterback.
They trade
we have the quarterback in the pipeline.
I'm dumb. Yeah, if they traded Skubal, I was not going to support them at all. I was going to be furious.
Well, if we're going to be totally frank about the rest of this season, and it's kind of shot. I mean, Riley Green's
over.
Yeah, we just got swept by the Guardians.
Yes,
it's good, but it's going to get dark. Like, we're not going to, I don't think, play scrappy down the stretch. I think we're like waving the white flag.
We did.
Like, all right, see you guys in the offseason.
We traded 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah,
we traded Chafin. We traded Flaherty. We traded Kelly. We traded Canna.
Canna Corn. We did bring up. I found the clip. Evan, you had said this guy's name in like 2021. You did not pronounce it well. You called him Dean Dingy. You meant to say Dylan Dingler, but he's finally in the MLB.
Ohio State product.
And he's been, so I'm excited to see what he does because he's a catcher. I love that position. So we'll see what happens. But that's at least exciting that people
can't wait for next year when we're at this trade deadline and it's the exact same thing again.
We'll be at this trade deadline doing the same exact thing.
Year 9.
Casey Mize seems a little pissed at the team too. I read some quotes that he disagreed with being put on the 60-day IL, so that's not great.
The best ability is availability.
Evan, you're going
Casey.
through it with your prospects right now.
Over.
You're going through it with your prospects.
Torkelson sucks.
Well, Scott Harris is on record saying today that Spencer Torkelson's still in the Tigers' future plans.
Oh,
just remember, trading, we didn't do it, obviously, but trading Skubal for like a top prospect, Spencer Torkelson, you can see how badly it could turn out.
It's true. He was 1-1.
You know what Skubal is good at? Pitching at the major league level. Why not just keep him?
Confirmed.
Glad they did.
That's a great point, Alex. Okay, that's the Tigers. Dylan Dingler is my new Tiger, along with Justin Henry Malloy. So I will not be watching them play the rest of the year, but I will be
God, what
texting.
A joke.
I will be texting Dingler Bomb.
Bally Sports is back on Comcast. If you have Comcast, you can watch it again starting August 1st.
Woo! Anyways, the fun stuff. Football's back, baby. Football is so back. I can't wait.
Back.
It's back.
Training camps have been starting.
There's a game on Thursday. We're getting training camp every day
Don't
on my lunch
act
break.
like
I just want to see what people are saying.
Caleb Williams is playing in the preseason game. Caleb Williams is playing the first
No,
round.
there's
You
no
guys
way.
are not
Announced
gonna
today,
watch.
Caleb Williams is playing in the Hall of Fame game.
Are you guys gonna watch the preseason game? The Hall of Fame.
Thursday
I'm not busy,
night, I probably
if I'm
will.
not busy Thursday night, I will watch it. What else is there to watch?
I probably will, the first 2 drives. If there's a cool Olympic event on, like a swimming final, I might
They're
watch
on during
that
the
instead.
day. Like,
But they play the replays, and I don't keep track during the day of what's happening.
I can't watch.
I was
the
watching-
basketball's
for
on
sports.
tomorrow.
I was watching before this doubles ping pong gold medal match between China and the People's Republic of Korea. It was the most impressive thing I've seen in my entire life. Some of the moves that this dude was like 6'2" and lanky from China, and just some of the ways he was like, it not even like rallies or volleys back and forth. He would just shut it down. You say anything at him, it's like boop, right back in your face. Sorry, I'll take the point. It was mind blowing to watch. So
These are world
if that
class
is on-
athletes, Grant.
if that is on, I will be watching that.
The U.S.
But
men's
yeah.
soccer team is playing in the knockout rounds. First time since
They
2000.
played today.
They won.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now they're into
I have
the
a question
knockouts.
about that.
Yeah.
Is this the same team that just like tried to play for like the World Cup?
It's U23 for men's.
Oh,
So
okay.
23 and younger.
So the Olympic teams are everybody's a U23 team.
Men's, yes.
Basketball, USA basketball tomorrow, 3:30.
Is it
South
on
Sudan
3:30 or is it play on earlier?
on at 3:30. I think
2:30
it's like an
Central.
8:30 tip. 8:30 tip in
Win
France or whatever
and
the difference
in-
is.
To the knockout.
3:30.
This will make you happy, Evan, because you're a sicko.
Oh.
You know what Japan's been doing, which pisses me off? They didn't even play Tomi Naga today. They got the best college player.
No, not the best.
They're not even playing him.
Extremely overrated college player.
They almost did beat France though, so whatever they have going on is pretty
They
good.
almost beat
But he's-
France?
Yeah, lost by 4.
They lost by
The
they
Twin
lost in
Towers?
overtime. Yes, they lost. Gobert had 7 points.
Not an
They
offensive
have
guy.
Wendy and Gobert down low, and goaltending is allowed in the Olympics. And you're telling me you didn't win by 50?
You can goaltend in the Olympics.
International rules.
Yes.
That's
I think if
crazy.
it hits a rim,
Like
you
if
can
the
swat
ball
it.
hits the rim, you can take it off.
Yeah, but you know what they say about the Olympics though? Guards win in the Olympics. They don't
They
have no
don't.
guards.
I don't know.
They
Did
have
they
Evan
say that?
I have no
Fournier.
idea they said that.
Well, I'm making it up. Like guards win in March. Guards win in March. Guards win in.
LeBron's
Paris.
Guards
still
win
the
in
best
late July,
player in the
August.
NBA. Crazy.
Ron's not the best
Off.
player.
It's not. No, I mean he's still really good.
Okay.
But
Congrats, America dominates in
this is
sports.
tough for the Jason Tatum fans out there or the haters. They're probably happy.
Cody.
He didn't even
It
play.
was a coach's decision. Do
No.
you think he said, I want to sit out?
No, that's what I mean. Coach's DNP. He must not be that good.
No, it's not
He's
it.
probably
He
pretty
said
happy.
he,
I don't know what
Coach
they're
Kerr
doing.
said, like, retract his statement. He said he should have gotten in.
But he didn't play him in the moment.
Correct. And he says it was a mistake.
Because Drew Holiday is better than Jason Tatum.
No.
No, I think they're just playing minutes too, but they need to stop playing Joel Embiid and just let go small and let Tatum play with Anthony Davis. I don't know why we need to experiment with multiple
100%
centers.
would agree with you. I don't know why Embiid and Bam are playing way too much.
Bam is playing a lot for.
Yeah,
I mean, Bam's good, but
let Anthony Davis play. Maybe
Doesn't
they're getting
seem
ready
like
for
it.
France, but I don't need to see Embiid versus Wembanyama. I don't need any of that.
need any post player against France. You have
Just
Anthony
let
Davis
Wemby
to
score
guard
60
Rudy Gobert.
and then-
You pull him out on offense, and KD 7 foot. Wemby.
Evan, you sent in a text in the Gambling Degenerates about NBA players.
Oh my god!
Stunning.
Oh my god! Stunning.
My jaw
You said
dropped.
KD. I thought he got traded. I was like,
I didn't
Evan's
know what
not
happened.
watching the
I was
Olympics.
watching the
I was
Olympics.
like, there's no
Don't
way Evan's
watch
watching
NBA
I was-
basketball. You just
I
watch.
just ate all my breakfast from McDonald's and laid on the couch, turned on the TV, and that was the first thing. I was like, hey, the Olympics basketball's on.
I'm so glad you said that, Alex. I'm so glad you said that.
Dude, I
That was
was
the
stunned.
craziest
I
text I've ever
figured
seen in my
more
life.
than just myself was watching the U.S. team play at the Olympics in basketball.
I was too hungover at that point. I was laying on the deck, staring up into the sun when they were playing because I couldn't move.
That just goes KD. I'm like, he's watching.
He was perfect
That
from the
was
field. He was
NBA players
perfect from
play
the field.
basketball.
That was
I
the
had to
text
look it
of
up.
the summer.
Yes.
I immediately went to my browser and was like, what happened? What's going
You
on?
trade KD when it's in the Olympics.
I thought Kevin Durant was a Piston.
That replaces when Ben V said like, "Wow," and it was a Marvin Jones resigning.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, new throne.
Kevin Durant.
KD eyeball.
You got to text more in there, Evan, about
I don't care.
NBA players. Make sure you
can't
text
wait.
tomorrow about the
I'll-
Olympic
Yeah,
game.
When I'm
eyeballs of
watching
someone.
the Olympics, I will. Once the NBA season starts, I do not care.
Until the Pistons
With all their
are good
nicknames.
again.
It's something about the nicknames too. Like if he just goes Book tomorrow, like Devin Booker goes off. Evan
I
just
was
goes,
streaming.
Book
I was
eyeball
streaming at the
emoji.
TV for Devin Booker to shoot the ball, and he just wasn't. Made me upset.
Oh God. All right. Anything you've noticed in any of the training camp stuff that you've seen, either league wide or Lions? I can start us with some ideas. Daniel Jones. Oh boy, I've seen some clips of Daniel Jones that don't look good.
Oh,
I also saw one throw that Caleb Williams made that blew me away, rolling
I
to
sent,
the sideline, throwing back.
I sent JJ McCarthy cooking Vikings defenders to Evan.
Oh, I did see
Stepped
that
up
clip
in the
today where he
pocket.
throws it across the middle late.
those up in his pocket.
Pick six.
Yeah.
No, he made the tackle.
Oh, good for JJ.
I do say I was on HBO Max the other night, and I watched the first 4 episodes of the New York Giants training camp thing, the off season.
How is that?
Such a good show. Holy cow.
I want to watch it. I want to watch it bad now.
It made me want to start cheering for the Giants. I mean, but it's just
Oh,
behind the scenes conversations of
They're very raw.
of
I think.
of the roster of how are we going to build our roster this year, and they're upfront and honest.
Did you see the
I think it's great.
Dabble, Jaden Daniels conversation?
That was on the next episode that I'm about to get to.
Jaden Daniels walks in and Dabble's like, "Let's just cut to the chase. Do you want to be here? You want to be a Giant?" And he's like, "What?" Yeah, he's like, "No, seriously. Do you want to be in New York and be on our team? Yes or no?" Just immediately, didn't even say hello to him. I'm like, "Oh my God!"
I didn't realize Dabble's track record in the NFL and anything. Obviously, we all just know him for being the Alabama's OC, and then he got the Bills OC job. But he worked he worked at the Browns, he worked at the Jets, but he worked with Brett Favre, offense coordinator job. It's highly regarded in the NFL.
Michigan State grad assistant.
But that show was so good, just behind the scenes, and obviously Saquon's a good chunk of it, and them talking about it, and the Brian Burns trade going down is a big chunk of it. But just all
Spider-Man.
just how things work, they're just more kind of you think it'd be more hush hush, but it's everybody, and obviously everybody knows what's going on, but it's just casual conversations, and then all of a sudden they will cut to the GM just calling, be like, "Yep, well, he's not on our team," and they just casually move on.
I'm gonna have to watch it. That's a good plug. Get smarter about front office football.
It just made me want to be in the front office. I would say before we get to JMO, Alex, I would say is my biggest thing that I'm watching, just not in training camp, but the rest of the year, is all these quarterbacks getting paid. Obviously, it's their time up, and you need a franchise quarterback to but which one is going to fall on their face? Which one's going to fall on their face, and now their contract's a bad. We're already seeing it with Daniel Jones. That was a bad contract.
That one.
Yep.
I feel like the guys that got signed this offseason are all good.
But
Jared Goff might be the riskiest big signing.
But you just never know. I don't.
I think Tua is the riskiest signing.
You had Goff, you had Trevor Lawrence, then Joe Burrow get paid.
Talented guys.
I get that they're talented, but they all can't succeed to that level. They're all not going to be up there at that level.
Baker got paid. That could be a disaster.
Jordan Love could be.
Jordan Love's good.
He said half a season of good football. So
I get that I get that he's good, but you're investing.
Yeah, I guess someone will probably fall off, but I don't know who.
That's why. And then you have all the other quarterbacks. I'm still right on Lamar Jackson. Okay, he can't win in the postseason.
He's good, Evan, though. He's deserving of his money.
Okay, but
he won the MVP twice.
Okay, there's never been a two-time MVP to never make it to a Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson's
He's
on the track record.
26 years old.
He's got to be older than that.
I think he's 26 or 27.
God, dude, Daniel Jones' cap number is so high, it's disgusting. I don't know. I like Lamar a lot. I do.
He's a good
I like that guy.
Why can't he win in the postseason, Alex?
He can.
It takes more than one. It takes a lot of things to go right to win in the NFL.
They were one game away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they put it on him. They threw the more than they ran it in the AFC Championship game, and he couldn't get it done. He couldn't score more than 17 points.
That's bad play calling.
it was back play calling. I do remember watching that game, be like, what are they doing? Like, what's their goal here? But I guess yes, there's questions, but in comparison, if the argument is like the playoff thing, it's like there's guys around him that I think you'd say the same about, like Dak, his number.
Dak's
huge.
always been overrated.
Again.
The only reason that he's talked about is because he's the uniform that he's wearing.
Yeah. I guess it's the big picture is like you could do a lot worse than Lamar Jackson.
But this is Dak's
way worse
year. If he doesn't do anything, I can see the Cowboys have to blow it all up if they don't do anything this year. And,
they're
in free
time on
agency,
blow
they
it up
didn't
watch.
do anything. So, I mean, to expect them to
Well, they got Ezekiel Elliott.
to expect them to do anything in the playoffs is just they're falling behind the sticks.
It's weird because they have a good team.
They don't
They've had good teams.
You guys know that Derrick Henry's on the Ravens?
Yeah, he got signed in the offseason.
That's gonna be so sick. I think that
The Titans were supposed to be in rebuild mode, and they just were not, and it's gonna probably fall in their face. Their new GM didn't want to go through a rebuild, so he said, we have Will Levis, and we're just going to sign a bunch of other free agents to try to piece it together. Now, they are in the AFC South, so you compete with Jacksonville, the Colts. And you should have Houston, yes, but Jacksonville's not something to run home about. They're a 500 team. Colts are 500 team. Can you get to 500?
Evan, I can't see your face whatsoever.
I'm
I can see a little bit. I think he's okay. You're okay. But be careful on the pen clicking. Sometimes you can pick that up.
Was that me or was that Alex?
It was you, I think, a little bit.
Just put it down.
To JMO. JMO's gotten a lot of buzz, even going before training camp opened. And again, we talked about this last year. I credit our beat writers. I feel like they don't blow up people that don't deserve it. Last year, the guy was Brian Branch. As soon as practice started, you're like, this Brian Branch dude might be like one of the best players on our entire defense, and he had a pick six in the first game of the year. And I feel like
top moment in my life.
Great moment in Alex's life. Never forget he was there with Cody. But we're getting some JMO hype, and it's really stood out above the rest. Are you guys going to let yourself get hurt? Are you going to be vulnerable with your heart and prepare for a JMO breakout season?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Just because
every clip I've seen, I'm like, dude, this guy looks different. He's catching the ball. He's making crazy moves. He already had the speed.
Well, he's not suspended.
I'm going to let myself
he
fall
can be
for
in the
it.
facility. He's had a year in the
practicing
system.
all.
There's no more.
Had a great NFC Championship game.
There's no more.
People forget.
Like easing him into the offense. If we have to still ease him in the offense, it's just because he's too stupid to do it. And it's where it's going to be tough because there's just one ball for the offense. And I don't think there's any selfish players. But like defense, Branch has the ability to make a play every single time, every single snap. So where I think it's a little, not that it's easier for Branch, but I mean it's more noticeable when he makes 5 or 6 plays in a 2 possession, 3 possession span, where previously JMO was getting 2 targets in a first half. So, but I expect those targets to go up slightly. I don't see it going up that much.
I think significant.
That much. I mean,
he's the clear number 2 now. Josh Reynolds is gone.
I am saying that. I think Josh Reynolds.
JMO breakout. Book it.
He could take a good handful of Josh Reynolds targets, but I still think when you have Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra, and Sam Laporta, there's still targets.
It's a good football team.
Away.
Josh Reynolds, I was pulling up the receiver stats. He had 64 targets last year during the regular season.
How many did JMO have?
JMO had
There's no way Geno had 64
He had
targets.
42. Jameis Winston had 42.
Almost.
Khalif Raymond had 44.
It's a lot for Khalif Raymond.
Looking up and down the rosters of people.
Khalif Raymond had like a couple of those when Amon-Ra was out.
Okay.
I feel like Khalif Raymond had one game where he had like 10 or 11 targets when Amon-Ra was injured.
If we're assuming he's healthy the whole year, Gabe Davis had 81 targets for the Bills. Jamel's got to be getting 80 targets. If he's healthy for all the games.
Don't know if our offense is that.
But he doesn't
way.
even need that many targets to make a difference.
It's
That's
true.
the thing. I don't know if our
In the
offense is that
NFC
way.
Championship game, he had 3 targets and 1 carry.
True.
And he had 2 touchdowns and 75 yards.
All right, then should we just talk about yards then, I guess? He had 354 yards last year.
I do expect him to get at least like 60 targets.
Josh Reynolds had 608 yards. So what do we... I think 750 yards. Gabe Davis had 746.
As long as Jamo's not just like the deep play, the big play hitter guy. He's
still gonna be a big play hitter.
I get that, but can he be a possession guy? Josh Reynolds was a possession guy. Amon-Ra's a possession guy. Amon-Ra can't break it for big plays, but like Amon-Ra's 5 targets are way different than Jamo's 5 targets. Jamo's 5 targets, one of those is for like a big play touchdown. Those type 5 targets by Amon-Ra is all 10-yard first downs, third down, fourth down receptions.
In his last year at Alabama, in 15 games, he had 79 catches for over 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Okay, also, Alex, that's
absurd.
They are absurd numbers, but this is also college to NFL.
Agreed.
The possessions are increased. The time in between snaps are decreased from college to. You just get more plays off in college. That's just 100% facts.
But he was still averaging 20 yards a reception. So I'm just saying he's a big play guy. I don't think he's
I
ever
agree with you
be
there. If he gets anywhere close 20, then he's not getting 80 targets. That's just not realistic for him if he's getting 20 yards per reception.
I realistically think that if his hands got to a significant level, that he could be better than Amon-Ra.
Ooh.
Talent-wise. He has more like raw given abilities.
He just has
I could see him being a CeeDee Lamb if he had great hands. But he doesn't. And I don't think he's going to have great hands ever. But he's like this. He has a similar body type, and he's faster than probably everybody.
Is he gonna be around?
Is he
gonna be around on the lines long enough for us to see that? Is Jamo gonna be around?
I don't know. But look at Tyreek Hill. His hands are not great. They're better now. But in the beginning of his career, they weren't great. He's just a lightning rod, and he's arguably the best, one of 2 best receivers in the league.
He's top 5 receiver.
I'm not saying Jameson Williams is going to get there, but I'm just saying that's like the potential he has to be up there. He could be.
I guess.
I wouldn't bet on it. But
so 850 yards?
I think he goes 800.
Right, how much did you say he had last past year?
354.
Oh, God. 254.
800.
Double that. It'd be 700.
8 touchdowns.
7 touchdowns.
What'd you say, Alex?
800, 8 touchdowns.
Yeah. 800 yards, 8 touchdowns.
All receiving?
Let's find a comp.
All receiving?
Yeah.
Do you know who you just described from last year? I'm just trying to give you names. I'm not saying it's good or bad.
You're telling me he's going to have 10 touchdowns.
Well, you said 8.
No, I thought you said 10 total.
I said 8 receiving. Might have like.
Oh, I'm just looking at. I'm only going to look at receiving shit because that's what
808.
I have.
Give him 7 and 5.
That is Jacoby Myers. 2023 season.
He could easily be that.
Any other wide receivers that are around there, Grant, please?
Jaden Reed had 793 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Yes.
My thing is 7. I would say 7 and 5.
700 yards, 5 touchdowns.
The touchdown value. Amon-Ra had 4 or 5 touchdowns last year. It's just what we do in the red zone. It's just at a disadvantage to our wide receivers. I think once we get to the red zone, it is like Sam Laporte is the first target, and it's our run game.
All right, so that is Tank Dell, who you just described.
Really good.
I'm not trying to compare these players. I think we're just at a disadvantage.
I know, but I like
10
to. I'm just reading off
Samuel's at a
names.
disadvantage with the offense. Amonra's at a disadvantage with the offense. We're not throwing first in
Amon-Ra
red zone.
10 receiving touchdowns last year.
He had 10.
Yeah, I cashed my bet on
And
the last
over 1,500
day of the
yards
season.
and 10 touchdowns.
Okay, at one point
Correct.
he was 10. I mean,
10's a lot.
Sam Laporta had had 8 though. So like
we score a lot of points.
I don't think Amon-Ra will have 10, but I think he'll have more yards this year.
I'm not saying that we don't score a lot of points, Alex. I just think what our offense does in the red zone, it's David Montgomery, it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's 2 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game.
On an end around and a touchdown that really didn't matter because we didn't get the onside kick.
Still a touchdown.
I get that.
Now, here's a spicy one. Why can't this be him? Maybe it's because of the injuries that this guy had go in his favor, but rookie Jordan Harrison had 911 yards and 10 touchdowns in his first campaign in the NFL. That would be pretty dynamic for us to add to our team. Not with the touchdowns, but like 900 yards would be woo.
I just think the offense is Minnesota never had a run game, and they never were going to last year. Where our run game, we are going to have a run game. I feel like 90% of the games that we're in, we will find a way.
Jared Goff can throw on average for around 300 yards a game?
I feel like he can do it. Absolutely. I think we've seen it before. I just don't know if we need him to.
100 for
be so good.
St. Brown, 100 for Laporta, and then 50 for Gibbs, 50 for JMO. Boom. I just split up the whole
not going to work
offense.
out that way.
It could. Why can't it?
Because the system isn't built on like, okay, we have to get this, this, and this. It's like we're calling plays. And by the way, Brock Wright's catching a touchdown.
Yep.
I don't care about touchdowns, but I think he's going to have.
David Montgomery caught a screen pass this game for 26 yards. Like,
I don't give a about JMO's stats if we're winning games. I don't.
Correct.
But I know he's going to help the team, and I know he can be good.
He is going to be asked to do more this year than he has been, and it's expected because it's.
I just want his training wheels off. I just want to see it.
I was about to say the same thing. The training wheels are off. He's now on a Harley Davidson. Can he control that Harley Davidson down the road?
I think he can.
Harley Davidson.
His college team is unbelievable.
Alex is riding the little sidecar right next to him, cheering him on.
I want him to be good. I think he has that. He has the ability.
I'm not doubting that. I'm 100% can.
Oh, no one's doubting his ability. I mean, come on. Come on. It's just more like let's just see it. I just want it bad.
Let him loose.
He's the difference. He's a difference maker in playoff games where like that's how you win a Super Bowl because he just gets 2 like fluke touchdowns.
He's a difference maker in the big games.
We need him.
We can win the non-big games.
Like a Donovan Edwards. Like, oh God, Dono just had 2 touchdowns in the title game. Holy shit.
We can win games with Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, our running backs. What else? What's going to be the difference maker? And he is the difference maker in any big game.
Tyreek Hill.
The X Factor. All right. Another difference maker on defense quickly. Brian Branch looks like he's going to be traditional safety role this year, at least to start. They're trying. They're working on it. They think he's bigger than a nickelback. He's bigger role than a nickelback. So I'm excited. I love Brian Branch. He'll probably come up later in our power rankings list.
He has to be on the field more often. I think that's how I'm reading this storyline. Is that okay? He played like the nickel corner, sent him a couple blitz packages and all like that, and he started at corner for Alabama his senior year or his last year he was there. I think the Lions we have to have him on the field more than the certain packages that he was last year. And I think this is a great way to do it.
It did feel like in the playoff games, he played a lot more snaps than maybe in the regular season. I think he'll be full go starter all game long.
Yeah, what I was thinking of when they were talking about the beat writers about his adjustment so far is that Brian Branch still made plays all over the field. But remember that stretch at the end of the season, the 5 games when Ife Melifonwu was just coming free on blitzes like that. We get Branch in that role, like and allow scheme up around him. Like that's why I'm envisioning Brian Branch in that Melifonwu role more often because
Derek Barnes,
like his sack on Baker.
No offense to Ife Melifonwu, but
instead of Derek Barnes blitzing on Dak Prescott, it's Branch. I feel like somebody's going to make that tackle.
Yes. Derek Barnes had a pick today, though.
I
Shout out Derek
saw
Barnes.
that today.
Yep. The only other thing that I really noticed that was surprising, shout out to Colton Pouncey. Hurts that he left your guys' beat at MSU, but he's so good at what he does for the Lions and the way he talks. And he'll like say things that the everyday fan would be intrigued by that you may not think, but Levi Onwuzurike is going out early and often with the starters. So it sounds like this is make or break year for him, and that would be a huge wild card that could potentially propel us to our glory heights in the playoffs if that guy looks what we thought we were getting as a second round pick early in Brad Holmes' career. That was exciting to see.
Aleem McNeil rushed onto the scene last year. Great defensive tackle. Now with Kaminsky going down, he has to set up.
Yeah,
he has
that should
to
be noted.
step up. He has to. I mean, there's no questions about it. I mean,
yeah, him and Pascal, really. Pascal was okay last year, though, but like they got to keep getting better.
Yes.
Especially with Kaminsky down.
The day that we bring in somebody else or we sign somebody of notable worthy, not just some guy to fill in a spot on the practice squad, now that we have one available, you bring in somebody worthy, is the day we realize that it just didn't work out for them, that they have to give up on him.
Yeah, it really is. It's a make or break year for Levi O. Hopefully he makes it. We don't have to get into it crazy before the power rankings list, but Decker did get extended. So it's 3 years, 60. 31 of it is guaranteed. I haven't seen how it breaks out really over the years, but I don't know.
It's an important position, and if you have a good player there, pay him.
He's good on run blocking, don't get me wrong. It's just pass protection.
He's a good player, Evan. I would dare you to go find someone better right now in free agency. It'd be tough.
I'll give up my next 2-3 years first round picks for Trent Williams right now. He's in contract disputes and he's sitting out of the 49ers camp.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, you'd have to punt your future of 7 years probably to get him. So.
Yeah, I buy a first round pick the next 2 or 3 years.
All right, how about I change my wording to for a reasonable price?
That's a very reasonable price.
We don't know the price.
Alex, if we're competing for Super Bowls, we're drafting in the late first round anyways, so we don't have to draft in Detroit anymore. Price. We don't have to get excited about that.
They also would be crazy to give him to us because
correct.
We're direct competition.
I like that that Decker didn't make any fuss about his contract, though. That made me think when you said Trent Williams sitting out, I like that they just quietly, casually got done. Brad Holmes mentions it on the radio.
Excited Jared Goff
we signed him.
Come on.
I didn't see it.
Jared's happy, I'm happy.
Until Jared Goff gets blindsided in the year 3 of that contract because Decker can't move because his knees are giving out on him because he's too damn old.
Oh, no.
Support the team, Evan.
I am supporting the team.
Down. Okay, let's rank the top 10 players on the lines going into the season. Before we start, we're starting at 10, just so you guys know. Evan's got the sheet too. Let me find it. Some of these names on here are crazy. I can't say them all because it would take too long, but
our top 25.
This was
give a couple highlights.
Quintez Cephas was number 25, checking in at the low end of the top 25.
Quintez Cephas in there. Monroe's only ranked 18th on my list.
22 for Alex. Yep, it was his rookie year.
Don Malbach ranked in our top 25. That's how bad our roster was.
Julian Okwara made an appearance at 24 for
Romeo
me.
Okwara was our 4th best player. He's coming off of like that 10-sack season. Tyrell Williams is ranked for us. Jamie Collins was one of the worst signings in Lions history. Trey Flowers.
Was top 15. Brashad Perryman was 16.
For who?
For a lot of us. For me, you, and 17th for Evan.
Michael Brockers.
You, dude.
You had Brashad Perryman ahead of Amon-Ra.
Disgusting.
Michael Brockers, yep. Panay was only 12.
I had Taylor Decker ranked in this list. It's just disgusting.
Taylor Decker's probably a reasonable one.
I had Amon-Ra at 9. I said I'll take a shot at him. Our top 5 was the same. You want to hear our top 5? You're unanimous.
Yeah.
Goff.
Jared Goff 5, Romeo Okwara 4, DeAndre Swift 3, TJ Hawkinson 2, and Frank Ragnow 1.
Okay. Well,
so actual NFL players, at least in the top 5. But oh my God, does that list get dark fast? Jelani Tavai 19th, 20. Will Harris 18. Jeff Okuda.
Jelani Tavai just got paid.
Jelani Tavai was not on my list. Will Harris, I don't think, was on my list.
True. You had Jalen Reeves-Maven, which is a good pick. Honestly.
Great special teams guy.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to start with 10. Who wants to start with who they have 10th?
I'll start.
Go ahead.
I have Teron Arnold at number 10.
Teron. Jesus Christ.
Terrion?
Is it Terrion?
It's
Yes.
I think it's Tyrion Arnold.
Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Teron.
Like Tyrion
Tyrion.
from Game of Thrones, but Tyrion.
You're putting him top 10. Holy shit. Hasn't even played a snap.
Hasn't even played a snap, correct. But he's coming in day one. Supposed to compete for the day one cornerback starter.
God, I hope so. I hope that's true.
I mean, we got this buzz
I hope
about
he's
that we fix our secondary, and he's one of the main reasons why. So let me
I
live
hope
up
he's
to
the
the
10th
hype.
best player on our team. If he is, that's great news for us.
I thought about it. He's close. He's in my I have a category at the end that says close. I had him in there.
Grant?
Mine's going to piss Evan off. I got Taylor Decker at 10th. I still think he's hanging on. I still like him. He plays the most important offensive line position. And we paid him. And he wasn't the best statistically, but I think overall he's reliable. And when he's out, well, it's kind of tough. When he's out, we shift Panay over so you don't notice his spot, but you notice the right tackle spot goes downhill when he's out. So he is important for the tackle position on our team.
He's on my close list. He's probably 11.
Okay.
I have Aleem McNeil at 10.
Nice. Big house.
He's a good player.
Oh, speaking of that position, kind of sad. I don't know if he'll come up, but DJ Reader said he may not even be ready by week 1, so that kind of sucks.
On the pup list.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, well.
I had him at 9.
Okay, spoiler, 9. All right, I had Aleem McNeil at 9, so we just flop places there.
I have Jack Campbell at 9.
Whoa.
Oh, my God, Evan. Yes, let's go, dude. I love that.
It wasn't that good last
Too
year.
low, too high.
He's getting hype.
I feel like
have him
it's
in the close range, but I'm all in on like buying his stock because he is getting talked up to the max by reporters in the offseason. And Dan Campbell
I think as the year
him
went
to be
on,
top
I thought
10.
he kept on improving as the year went. I thought he played a really good NFC Championship game.
he had a lot of rookie blunders last year that you would expect.
Correct.
So it was hard for me to put him in the top 10 right now, just with the roster we have.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I would also say there's a lot of Lions fans, and I could be argued that like he's still not the best linebacker on the team. Like with Anzalone did have a career year last year, but I would say the trending charts would say Campbell does go up. So I love it because Jack Campbell is my line. I love that dude.
I want him to be
like I
great.
love that. Yeah.
I
hope we look back at this list. And
I like the
9 and 10 are
boldness.
spicy. I love this. Okay, 8. I have Jared Goff. I got our QB signal caller as 8 on our team.
Disrespectful,
Number
dude.
8.
No,
Holy
Most
I mean,
important
you got a
position on
stacked
the
roster.
team, dude.
I'm just saying best
I
players.
got
think he's
DJ
8.
Reader at 8.
All right,
I got Brian Branch at 8.
I love that Branchula. I can explain my Jared Goff take maybe as I say more names, but because I don't want to tip all my picks. But I have him 8.
We're gonna have
7,
the same
Alex.
crop of players.
Your guy, I have Brian Branch at 7.
I have Frank Ragnow at 7.
Disservice to Frank right now.
Disrespectful to Frank
Well,
right
if you're
now.
talking about disrespectful, I have Aiden Hutchinson at 7.
Super disrespectful.
I mean, I went.
I'm just straight up best players on the team.
I went Flash
Yeah.
in the top 5. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I love.
Yeah,
Flash.
no, it's so surprising that Alex went Flash for his top 5. Okay, 6, get some Flash out there. I have Jahmyr Gibbs as the 6th best player on the team.
Disrespectful.
I have Brian Branch at number 6.
Okay, Branch, pretty
I
consistent
got
area. on the
Sammy
average.
Laporta at 6.
Holy
Okay.
I hate my list.
You
I
didn't put
forgot
him.
Sam
You didn't
Laporta.
put him in. You got to kick someone
Jack
out.
Campbell
Alex.
and
Or
Sam
Evan.
Laporta.
I
Oh.
went to the roster and I was going through it, double checked, triple checked.
You can move DJ Reader
I
out.
just-
It's okay. He's gonna kick Aiden Hutchinson out. I can already see it on his face.
How did I just pass him?
There's got to be one guy on your list, Grant, that I just am not going to agree with. I'm not sure who it is.
I just
My 5th is Sam Laporta, the guy that
my
Evan left
God.
off. So 5, I have Sam Laporta, the best tight end in the
can't
NFL.
bump everyone down. That means my boy Arnold's off. Jack Campbell's 10.
Sam Laporta's got to be
I-
top 6.
I hope DJ Reader's as good as you guys. I just didn't know yet.
Okay, so he's 11.
I
This
thought
guy's
Reader was a teeter pick, but
Reader was a teeter. I like
DJ Reader
that.
was a
because
teeter
I
for
wrote
me.
Ragnow twice on my list because we were
Oh,
talking
Aiden
about
Hutchinson's
doing
now
my list.
8 on my list. Just FYI.
It's
What
disgusting.
pick are we on? 5?
Branch is 7.
5. Who's your 5th?
My 6 is
I
Sam
got-
Laporta. I'm sorry. I don't know how I missed him. And we were just talking about him. I just didn't even connect the dots. That's disgusting.
I got Jared Goff at number 5.
All right. Jared cracks the top 5. Who's your 5th, Evan, in your new
My
rankings?
5th is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Cha Gibbs.
Disrespectful, dude. Come on.
His man
Not
ranking is very
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
I think you guys
His
are
Madden
disrespectful.
ranking was bullshit.
4. Aiden Hutchinson.
Whoa.
Honestly,
4.
after this year, wait 1 sec. I'm buying all in on the Hutchinson stocks this year. I think
I still think
his position
he needs
across
help.
the NFL is so
He needs
deep.
help on the other side for him to really blossom. Like
Well, that's big of you to say, and I've been clamoring for that. But I do think we'll get a little bit more
I
help
just
this
don't-
year.
4.
no. Will.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
My 4's Frank the Tank Ragnow.
All right.
You guys both have Ragnow top 4.
Unsung hero of that offensive line, whether you know it or not.
3. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
3. Aiden Hutchinson. I'm the biggest on the train of Aiden Hutchinson.
3.
I think we're talking all
I
pro
have
year
Sewell.
this year for sure.
Oh, that seems disrespectful.
That's disrespectful as to our
It's
captain.
not disrespectful. 'Cause I value somebody. I'm sort of shocked, but I have somebody at 1 that I value.
You have Jared Goff at 1.
I can't tell you. I have Sewell at 3.
I guess he has to have. Okay, who's 2, Alex, for you?
Amon-Ra.
Nice. Netflix bump.
My 2
And
my 2's the
Flash.
same. I have the Sun Guide.
You have Jared Goff at
The Sun
fucking
got it
number
too.
1. You've come all the way around to Jared
created
Goff.
my list.
Wait, let me.
I started in reverse order, and going to number 1, I said, what is top 10 players on the Lions? Who's the most important? What is the most important? And that is quarterback in the NFL. And without Goff,
Right.
we were talking about it. We've talked about it. I mean, without him, this team would not run. It's just that
True.
way.
Okay. Well, let's put a pin in that. I think the importance, yes, but like, if we got Brock Purdy tomorrow, I think this offense still hums
I don't
easily.
think it does.
Like I
Really?
think Brock
It hums,
Purdy
but
is,
I don't think it's
Brock
as
Purdy is
good.
hidden behind that Christian McCaffrey. If Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel sit out, that 49ers team is, and Brock Purdy's totally
should-
different.
You should watch back that Rams game in the masterclass that Jared Goff put on in precision passing, Grant. It was remarkable.
Jared Goff is extremely underrated still.
I don't want this to turn into Grant doesn't like Jared Goff, because I do a lot. I just think in terms of importance, maybe I may have got caught up in comparing people across the league, but like there's other quarterbacks
That's not what this is about.
that could but like in terms of like best, like I think we lose Penei Sewell, we're not replacing him. Like if we lost Jared Goff and you replace him with like a quarterback a couple spots below him in the NFL rankings, we still would be good. We still would be really good. But if we lost like a couple guys,
Hypothetical.
Wouldn't be
absolutely
Super
Okay,
Bowl
screwed.
Grant,
good.
hypothetical. I just thought
Yeah,
about this
I love
this
them.
morning when I was watching Good Morning Football.
Nice.
There's a free agent out right there right now. Let's say Goff goes down with an injury week 6 or 7. The Lions are 5-2, so we're playoff
Mhm.
bound. Okay, and we had to sign a free agent, and that free agent is Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
It would be shit. We wouldn't be shit, but we would not be.
What
very
is our
good.
final record?
9-8.
We're 5 and
5-2
2.
start the year. I don't even know our schedule, so we're just 5-2.
You play
17
17
You have 10 more games to
football
play out.
games.
I think we go 10-7. He goes an even 500.
Yeah. I think we're 10 and 7.
But
So we lose the division.
We'd be a 500 team with him all year.
Yeah, I don't think we'd win. Yeah, I think we are a wild card team probably, and I think we could win one
And
playoff
I
game.
look at most of the NFL quarterbacks, I think we'd be 500. I think something about Goff
Yeah.
and this offense and him and Ben Johnson, It just takes it up another level. Now, the elite of elite, trust me, don't get me wrong, the elite quarterbacks in the NFL could come into this offense and probably have a heyday. But I think those quarterbacks that we're talking about that are like ho-hum, I don't think would do it.
You bring Baker in, I think we're not even remotely as good.
Baker, no. I even with Dak, I don't even think we're good.
I think we could be good with Dak.
I guess that's my line. I think like the Kirk Cousins, the Daks, Geno Smith. Like I still think we're a good ball club.
Geno Smith.
Stop.
I don't think we're a good football club with Geno Smith.
Derek Carr.
No.
He was
I think I think this offense is so good that I think like it wouldn't we wouldn't go off a cliff.
No. You should watch Jared Goff's highlights, Grant, and just remind yourself of what he's capable of. Who's your two?
I love Jared Goff. Frank Ragnow.
All right, my number one is Panay. Leader.
Same for me.
Star.
Where'd you put him on, Grant?
Not replaceable.
3.
My then.
My thing for Frank is I can't get out of my head that whenever he's hurt, our offensive line goes to absolute shit because we crumble. Like he's the most important player on that line, even though Panay's the best.
We have 2 new offensive guards this year, and so without Frank, that the center core is going to be going.
We have 1 new guard, right?
We have Glasgow still, who played some center last year.
But I don't think he was the starter at the beginning of the last year.
Glasgow started
from day one. Yeah. He started the first game.
Might have.
I thought he beat out Weishai.
I thought he started.
I don't remember though.
Who's the guy we signed from the Ravens?
Kevin Zeitler.
He's pretty good, right?
Oh, he's regarded very. We are unanimously. You look at charts, like the number 1 offensive line in the NFL.
That is hot.
Because the Eagles lost Kelsey. We were just the best offensive line in the NFL.
That is just.
Yeah, just big boys, just mashing.
So nice. All right, honorable mentions. Yeah,
Zeitler will start at left guard probably.
Old.
Yeah, but he's sick. Like his PFF, whatever. He great. Like people are like, wow, what? Like multiple people are like, what a get for the Lions.
Is he actually going to start?
Yes.
Who would start over him?
Nobody.
Dan Skipper.
No.
He'll be like
Dan Skipper's a good heavyweight guy to bring in.
Nothing makes me laugh when I read the beat writers like Dan Skipper started 3 fights today. It's like I just relax.
Don't forget JT Bears, our assistant quarterbacks coach. Don't forget that.
Wow, he was short. I had Jack Campbell, Terry Arnold, Jameson Williams in my close tier.
I had David Montgomery, Taylor Decker, and Kirby Joseph. And then Terry and Arnold.
I had the same ones. I have Arnold, Kirby Joseph,
Jack Campbell,
Decker, and David Montgomery. I want to put David Montgomery in the
Montgomery's underrated.
Montgomery should be at 9
to be in the
or
top
8
10
for me.
I mean, he's like the 4th leading rusher in the NFL.
I mean, let's be honest. His run game and his ability to run last year compared to him and Jamal Williams, night and day.
Between the tackles,
I would
the
sign,
run against the Chargers.
I would sign.
Yeah, the Chargers dude,
he's
an out-of-body moment.
Very good football
Jim
player.
Nance on the call, the Showtime Lions. I didn't go listen to that.
He was the most
oh my God, I love that.
automatic from the 3-yard line I've ever seen.
I would re-sign David Montgomery right now.
Yeah, I wish he was. I'm putting him in. Can I put him in?
Sure.
I'm putting him in.
Put him in.
I'm putting him at 10. I'm taking DJ Reader out, moving McNeil to 9. That's my new list. David Montgomery deserves to be in there.
I think it also depends on how you do the list. Like if you look a little forward facing, I try to do with these lists. I mean, obviously Evan is with Terry and Arnold. So like I'm banking on Gibbs growing in his role, I guess, in my mind, even though Montgomery will still be a big deal. I'm not saying he won't be. It's just
still score 12 touchdowns. He'll still get the first snap probably day one.
Our team's just so good. Because I was even going into like the 15s and 20s. Like there's so many play. Like you could, if we're going by past performance, Anzalone has a great case to be in this list. It's just I think tides will change and hopefully Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes keep getting better. But he was almost an MVP of the defense last year. Like he did a lot of good stuff.
We got dogs. Jack Fox still
not
good.
Even. We're not talking about our biggest free agency sign of Carlton Davis. Like he's number 1 corner.
Yeah.
So
I thought about him.
All right, really the last thing. College football's around the horizon. I left this very vague. I don't know. I've been starting to get back into the college football takes. My go-to is the Josh Pate. His podcast does it year-round. Sweat Lord in college football. Trying to get a feel for what nationally people are talking about. I don't know if you guys have any big picture takes about teams you think you might be good. Is it going to be the Georgia Invitational, Evan? That's been a refrain from you the last few years. Really, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking that Oregon and Ohio State are really, really good on paper.
Me too. I'm with you there.
I'm thinking Georgia is not going anywhere.
As in,
Agreed.
like, they're still going to be good, or they're not going anywhere?
Like, as in they're still elite of the elite.
Yes. So there's three. There's your top three. Doesn't matter what order.
I think Alabama will still be good despite the change. Still think they're going to be good.
They'll make the playoff. They'll lose 2 games. They'll go 10-2.
Ole Miss is going to be their year.
The question mark is, what's the rest of the SEC going to do? Is Texas going to make the playoff again? Are they able to? They did lose a lot on defense. You lost 2.
And their go-to running back, too. They
running back, you lose picks. Worthy.
Worthy. Oh, star.
Grant, I just have a question for you.
Can Ole Miss get over the hump
for the show?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Nobody in the Big 12 should make it.
Do you think it's unfair that Michigan's not really being put in the tier of the Ohio States, Oregons, Georgias?
No.
Do you think they're there in your head? Do you think they should?
Well, that's the biggest question.
They're like the biggest question mark in the top 10.
No. There's a couple that I've been looking at.
Is the AP poll already come out? Did they already rank them?
No, but I'm just looking at. I like to just for now go by who FanDuel has to win the title. Just go by those odds because that's probably going to be close. But the early love in the Big Ten, Michigan's sitting at 4 in a lot of people, and I just don't see how you can comfortably say Penn State's better than them going into this football season. That makes me mad.
James Franklin's still the head coach. They won't do anything. Penn State will lose every big game.
Thank you, Evan. Same with Notre Dame. Again,
Notre Dame's schedule is just super soft. That's why.
It is. I did. If they beat Texas A&M
they should.
in week 1, they were for sure in the playoff because they don't have anybody. I bet they lose that game.
I bet they don't.
That'd be sick. Then they may not make the playoff. But if they win that game, you can just automatically cash whatever the make playoff ticket is because they don't play anybody. With Michigan, this is the thing. Is like if they are good this year, by good, if they are 10-2 with the schedule they have, then they're like starting to become, in my mind, an Ohio State, Georgia type program from consistency to like not drop off after what happened. But it's just like new coach, new quarterback, so many things. If they are like an 8-4, 9-3, and it's not pretty, then it's like, yeah, they had their one off. And then next year you like, okay, like what kind of program are they? So I don't think it's fair to question them. It's just, I don't know. If they are good, though, people have to give them the respect of like, wow, maybe this is going to just become an absolute football factory.
Do you think they're an automatic 10-win team?
No. Look, this is a crazy thing here. So the top 5 odds to win the title, Georgia, number 1, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. That's your top 5 to win the title.
Fair 5.
Michigan's got to play 3 of those 5. So it's like gauntlet.
Michigan State struggled last year. Played Washington and Michigan. Nothing we could do about it.
True. And then you go down a little bit further, and then you see USC will pop up. But like those are long shots. I'm just saying, you play three of the top 4 favorites to win the title in the same season. If you lose all 3 of those games, I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Wow, what a failure."
Depends how you lose them.
It certainly does.
You're going to be like,
you get 2 of them at home. If they get punked by Texas,
do you feel like
home,
your favorites versus
really
Texas
suck.
at home? Do you feel like your favorites?
No, because Texas is like, Alex knows, he lives there. They are the Michigan of Texas. They're flashy. People love their brand. They made the playoff. They barely lost their game. They have a top 3 quarterback in the entire country coming back. They have the brand is just as big. But like in my mind, in my deep down, I think we could push them around a football field still. Like I think that the interior defensive players that they lost, I have questions about that. Like, are we just going to be able to run over them?
Yeah, I mean, you lost both
Byron Murphy. What if we just run over them and Ewers throws a pick or two, and we just win an ugly football game, 17-14. Like, what if Isaiah Bond's not Xavier Worthy? He's a good football player, but what if he's just not that early in the season? I don't know. But they should be favored on paper.
If you had Blake Corum, I'd give you the favorite.
Okay.
I think Edwards
is Oregon a toss-up game? Like, you give it 50-50 shot that Michigan wins that football game.
Full honesty here. Evan and I had this conversation with listener Cody with K at Tecumseh Tavern for a good 25 minutes, and he is very confident. Evan, not so confident. I'm trying to fall somewhere in the middle. So it's good to hear some other opinions from Michigan fans.
I think it's definitely 50-50.
50-50. Evan said 90-10.
Oh, to win.
Oregon's
yeah, I mean,
that good. Or I just hands down Oregon's that good.
I'm with you. When it comes to a specific game, I don't know because so much can happen in a game. But my take that is aligned with you is I don't know how the playoffs shake out. And again, if they rematch, but I would expect Oregon to beat Ohio State at Oregon. And I think Oregon, if I had to do a sleeper pick with value, I would say Oregon wins the Big Ten. I don't know how far they would go in the playoff, but I'm just going to bet on the talent they have is just as good. Maybe a little bit less than Ohio State's, but their quarterback I know is better with my eyes. So I would take them.
Imagine Ohio State gets to host a playoff game because they don't win the Big Ten.
It's very
like that, and then Ohio State goes farther in the playoff. I can see all that happening, but I love Oregon. So yeah, I mean, they scare me a lot. Yeah, I think they're going to be sick, and I know they're tough because their coach is tough,
and their home atmosphere is very solid.
The thing is, Oregon travels to Michigan there, though. So,
right. That does help. But Ohio State has to go there.
That's going to be
Ohio State has a slightly tougher schedule than Oregon too. I think Oregon's got Ohio State. They have Michigan, but that's really the only two massive Big Ten games on their schedule. They have
they play us.
Come on.
Oh my God,
Friday night.
I was looking.
We have the worst stretch of any team in the country.
No offense to you guys.
Roads 4 games.
I was looking at the Ohio State Oregon collision course on October 12th, and I was like, "Is there any chance they lose a game?" And you guys were both on their schedules in the first 5, and I looked at the schedules. I was like, "Oh, there's no chance. They're both going to be undefeated going into the October 12th game."
Are we the look ahead for one of them?
No, Iowa would be a look ahead for Ohio State, but Cade McNamara can't throw a football and beat them again. So no.
Aiden Childs rolls into Autzen Stadium and pulls off an upset. Jonathan Smith gets lifted off his shoulders.
The only takes I had, that would be crazy. The only takes I have are some of the bets that I've already made. I'm taking Jackson Dart from Ole Miss to win the Heisman. I don't know what that means for their success. They are as talented, I think, as any team in the country. Will Lane Kiffin figure it out? No idea, but I think they're going to be electric. I also heard I don't know enough about the receiving room, but I've heard murmurs that it's like one of the best in the entire country. Can go up there with anybody. So I'm riding Ole Miss and Jackson Dart. And then my sleeper in the ACC is I'm fully buying in that this is the year for the Miami Hurricanes with Cristobal. I think they win the ACC, and I have a bet for them to win the title game in the ACC.
So stupid.
You guys don't like that.
No, remember what
right
their coach did last year?
Lost the game because they didn't eat it on purpose.
I think they have the talent, and I love their quarterback.
They have a good quarterback.
The kid from Washington State. They're all in. Cam Ward. I love it.
Miami gets hyped up every year. They're always ranked, and then they always suck.
You want to see a booty chick schedule that everybody in the Big Ten and a bunch of national media thinks they're going to win 10 games? People think Rutgers is going to win 10 games because of how soft their schedule is.
They can't do it. They're Rutgers. I'm sorry. Don't
Rutgers
even see
is not
schedule.
winning 10 football games. Are you kidding me?
Look at their schedule.
The hell will
Who's their quarterback?
It's the transfer from Minnesota.
That kid stinks.
Allen.
That kid is terrible.
Cal Morales or whatever.
Dude, that kid is horrible. Horrible. Rutgers isn't doing shit.
Okay, but Miami's schedule is like, I mean, they play Florida, but Florida's not that good.
Graham Mertz.
I think Virginia Tech could upset Miami. I think Louisville could upset Miami. They play Florida State.
Could Louisville beat Notre Dame?
No.
Sure.
That's on Notre Dame's schedule.
No.
I like Jeff Brom. The Brominator is a Brom.
But it's a Saturday. It's going to be at Louisville. It's probably going to be a night game.
Dude,
so I'm saying
Louisville was good in year 1 with Jeff Brom. They can definitely.
That's what I'm saying. They could upset Miami.
Any love for A&M under year one of Elko with some talent left
Who's
over.
your quarterback?
I think A&M could be
Who's
they
your
have a good
quarterback?
quarterback.
Connor Wegman,
Connor
or
Wegman.
something.
Never
He
heard
got
of her.
injured
Sorry.
last year.
Can't do it.
He's a highly rated.
Could
kid.
they win 9 games?
No.
I think that
In the
you
SEC.
should bet that they win 9.
I love them that week 1 game against Notre Dame, Alex. I'll take that with you.
They are
I
Kidding
think.
me, guys.
Have you seen A&M's?
What has
stadium?
Marcus Freeman done at Notre Dame?
Yeah, who's Notre Dame's quarterback?
Riley Leonard from Duke.
Riley Leonard, his old coach. Who knows his old coach
A&M's going to
best?
destroy
Yeah,
them.
but Notre Dame
Yeah.
Notre Dame stole LSU's offensive coordinator. Notre Dame has last year's offensive coordinator from LSU. Just FYI.
A&M, I think, is a sneaky pick to win 10 games.
Are you
Find a win.
Kidding me? No, they're not. They can't
They
do
have
it with
all the
Jimbo.
talent.
They
You know
can't
who's
do it
sneaky?
with Elko.
They have all the talent in the world. Elko is a good football coach who made
Okay,
Duke relevant.
Missouri's beating them.
Missouri.
Missouri's going to beat
Their
Texas.
coach
do.
is the biggest clown of all time.
Missouri does have the best wide receiver in the country, though.
Who's their
Be
quarterback?
something Cook, I think, last name.
Texas A&M does.
They
You know
lost.
who's the team I
Texas
like?
A&M doesn't
that I
play
think
any
Evan
of the
likes?
big dogs though in the SEC.
Correct.
Oh, 10 wins.
I like
They ain't
A&M
getting
to
10 wins.
win
It's
10
gonna be
football
a-
games.
Bloodbath in the SEC. You're telling me
9 to
Texas A&M's
10
going to
wins.
roll into Peyton Thorne's house and win? No, not happening.
Yes.
Not happening.
I don't know.
Peyton Thorne is not going to be the starter. By
You know who's
week
a team to
6.
watch? A little sleeper cell in the SEC. Not really a sleeper. They're a huge household brand. But if their quarterback clicks, the Tennessee Volunteers could just
Tennessee's
surprise
still
some
going to be
people.
good because of the offense that they run. That's just no.
That guy that I think is Nico Umiavelli or something
Sure.
Nico.
could be a guy.
The
I
Hawaiian.
can't wait for college football. I don't
They
even care
have to-
about
oh, I
NFL.
cannot
College football
wait.
is so much better.
No, we care about both.
No, we
Evan.
don't.
We care about both equally.
No, we don't. College football's
Yes,
Yeah,
you
now
do.
we do,
Evan.
though.
The Lions are
Because
one of
the
the best teams in the
Lions-
league.
No, because I don't have to ref basketball on Saturday afternoons. I have to ref basketball on Sunday, so I don't even get to watch the Lions for half the year.
God, that stinks. You missed a hell
What
of
is?
a ride.
What are the odds that Michigan finishes outside the top 4 in the Big Ten?
I think 40%.
I'd say close to 50. It's just you never know. Like what easy
Rutgers.
like Rutgers are going 10
10
and
and
2, Grant.
two.
You can be better than 10 and 2.
USC? Do they surprise people?
No.
I'm just looking
I
at the
don't
Big
know
Ten.
USC
There's
schedule.
not a lot of.
Can't play defense. You can't win football
Alex, you want to
games.
hear this easy ass schedule that Rutgers has? They're going to face Virginia Tech, which I think they're
I-
going to lose.
They will
Fly
lose
through
that.
it.
So that's,
Okay,
they're
they-
already
They
losing
play
that.
Washington.
Loss.
Okay, but is Dylan Raiola going to beat them?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually think they could be. Nebraska could be the
Is
sleeper that
Luke
knocks them
Fickell-
out. Dylan Raiola is
Is Luke
good.
Fickell going to beat Rutgers?
Yes.
Dude, I have
100%.
Rutgers
They might beat
0-4.
Alabama.
Well, that's just like the middle of their games. They play Howard to start in Akron, so okay, they do play
I
Michigan
already have
State.
4
Last
losses
game of the
for
year.
them. Loss. I bet they lose that
Win.
game too.
It's at Michigan State. Okay, they play UCLA.
I saw Childs throw a ball today, though. It looked
They play
nice.
UCLA.
That might win that one.
Win. You're baiting us. That's a win.
Friday night,
They're not
11
beating
p.m.
FSU.
They have to go to USC.
Loss.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do off the dome what their record is, and we'll see if it's 10-2. Oh, I have them losing 4 games in a row. That's crazy.
Minnesota at home.
Win.
Maryland.
It's a
I have them
joke.
6 and
Maryland.
6. I have them 6 and 6.
Illinois.
Win.
Loss.
Loss.
Their running back led the conference in
Win.
rushing yards last year, I guess.
Chase Brown.
Give a f-
Chase Brown's 2 years ago.
Oh, Rutgers. I thought you were talking about Illinois.
Big Carter's
They're
a
6 and
running
6.
back, and we were a
3,
joke.
4,
Rutgers is 6
5.
and 6.
Yeah, Rutgers isn't winning 10 games. Whoever said that is out of their mind.
multiple people that I have watched on Big Ten Network and other people are saying that Rutgers
That's
win 10
crazy.
games.
They're not going to be very good. Their quarterback is terrible.
I'm Alex.
What a joke.
Trust me, I'm with you.
What a
I'm just
terrible take.
there's people out there saying Rutgers is going to be good.
No,
Michigan
that
State
needs to stop.
has probably a better roster than they do.
I don't know. If
And
we
a better
do.
quarterback.
Yeah, we have a better quarterback. I hands down agree with
That
that.
Michigan State Rutgers game will be the battle of 2 teams at 5 and 6. It's going to be a hell of a football game.
I'm gonna put,
Winner goes to
Yeah.
a bowl
I'm
game.
gonna put my entire
That's how a
ESPN
joke.
account on SMU the
Rutgers
first
is.
week 0. Florida State SMU parlay.
Guys, if Dylan Raiola is
He's not going to be, dude. Freshman quarterbacks are almost never good.
But what if he's like, give me a comp to, I don't know, an
He has to
average
be
college
Trevor
quarterback?
Lawrence.
No. I'm just looking at their schedule.
UTEP. Dave Warner might
The
get the boys
only-
going.
I see a path to 10-2 or 9-3 for Nebraska. They might make the playoff.
They're going to lose
Ew.
one of those games to Illinois or Purdue.
If he's
They're going to
good.
lose one of those ones.
Did we beat Nebraska last year?
Yes.
Ah,
That was Harlan Barnett's first
Can't-
home win.
trust those guys then.
Yeah, but they're
Harlan Barnett's first win.
We were a joke.
Well, granted, they're 4 of the last
last
5
year.
games. It's pretty. They have at Ohio State, at USC, home against Nebraska, at
Lost.
Iowa.
At Iowa.
They play themselves at home.
No, home versus Wisconsin.
Versus Wisconsin. They do play UCLA.
But if he's good, though.
I think Wisconsin could be good. Sleeper.
I guess the true test is
Like-
they're 6.5-point favorites against Colorado right now.
Tyler Van Dyke, baby.
Wisconsin could be good.
College football.
Their schedule is way too tough to be good. Wisconsin will lose at least 4 games, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Look what this conference realignment has done. Everybody
They have to
has
play-
It's a bloodbath.
Did you know Wisconsin?
horrible schedules.
Alex, you're fully aware that Wisconsin hosts Alabama in week
Yeah.
3 at Camp
No.
Randall?
Yes.
That sucks.
Noon on Fox.
That is so ass.
Yep.
Why would you
Big noon
schedule that?
kickoff.
New kickoff.
What if they win?
It's a home and
What
home.
if they beat Alabama at home?
They'll carry Luke Fickell off on their shoulders in week 3 if they
Holy
beat
shit.
Alabama.
That'll be the upset of the season. I can see it now.
Their schedule actually is tough. They might lose 6 games and they might fire Luke Fickell.
It's year 2, 3?
Alabama,
Luke Fickell ruined it last
at
year.
you-
He went in there and asked for a spread offense.
year 2. I think
They
it's
should
year
have done
2.
pro-style offense.
They're not firing
Do
him.
they host Alabama?
Host Alabama.
I thought you would know
Alabama's
that,
9-point
Alex.
favorites right now.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I love that FanDuel has like the game of the year odds already up for like a bunch of big games. It just gets me ready to bet on college football so bad. What about any other crazy ones? No, I don't. Have
How
any
about
other
Michigan
crazy
State
ones.
being a dark horse, Grant?
Alex,
Say
we
it.
don't have enough talent on our team to be a dark horse.
I think we have talent. I
yeah,
don't
I
think
just
we have
don't-
enough experience.
Alex, we don't have enough talent on the team. It's just 100% facts.
to win 10
I just don't
games,
know
yes, I
who's
agree.
going to block for Aiden Childs
gonna block? Who's
consistently.
gonna
That's
catch
the only
ball?
question I have.
Nick Marsh can catch balls. He's
Luke
sick in
Belling,
the
he's a
video game.
problem on
Jake.
the video game. Jake,
He can
sorry.
catch a football because he's done it
He's
before.
actually good. He's actually very good.
We have,
I think
we have
he'll
2 Friday
be a
games.
the-
You know what that means, Alex?
3
We
of our
have
lone
2 Friday
bright
games.
spots.
3 Friday games. They just put us out there because they know it's just going to be an easy win.
We're going to beat Purdue on that Friday night at home. It's going to be electric.
We're going to beat Purdue.
We're going to lose to the Browns.
All right. Well, that's the show. That got me ready for football. We'll figure out power rankings. We'll throw out some ideas. We'll ask the listeners if they have any power rankings. We will have to have listener Connor back on. We're going to rank all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL because I promised him we would do that before the season started. We're just going to power rank and see where
Michigan
it
State
lands.
might lose to FAU week 1. Cheers.
Cheers. I think they're 12-point favorites.
Cheers.
That's big. Seems like a big spread.